Hi everybody, I'm super excited to do our first JakoPure food cooking video. We are going to cut up a chicken today. I have a brined chicken here that I brined about 18 hours ago. When you're brining meat, you want to do about a cup of salt to a gallon of water. I like to use the Morton's canning salt because it's a very pure salt. It has no additives, no anti-caking agents in it. So I've got this chicken in here brining. We're just drying off the water. Okay. It's really important. It makes the meat so much more tender when you have the opportunity to brine it. Lots of our meats from our chickens from the grocery store have additives in them, and obviously Jako chicken does not have any additives, so by being able to brine it, we are tenderizing that meat. So we have our chicken here. We are going to make sure you have a sharp knife first of all. Your kitchen is as good as your knives are, so sharp knives a first start for that. I like to piece apart, leaving the bone in. I like to cook my meat with the bone in and the skin on. So I'm going to lift up my chicken, kind of seeing this crease right here, and we're just going to take a cut right through that skin right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it until you kind of see this thigh bone come out here, okay? We're going to kind of cut around and through that bone area. At that point we have a leg and a thigh here. Some people like to leave the leg and thigh together. Some people want that cut apart. The easiest way to cut the leg and the thigh apart is to squeeze in half here. You're going to feel a ridge right through here, and you're just going to take and put a cut there, okay? Then we can flip it over and cut kind of directly through the middle here. And then that's going to cut through super easy at that point. So then we have our leg and our thigh split. So we'll do the other leg and thigh, so you can see that again. Kind of cutting through the skin here, okay? Cutting around. We're going to open it to where we're popping open that joint, which pops open really easily, especially if you've brined it. The meat is going to be really tender and easy to cut through. Again, I'm folding the thigh and the leg together in my hand, and I'm making a small cut through that top part, and then I'm making a second cut down through the leg and the thigh. Oh, and I missed the bone a little bit there. There we go. So then we have our leg and our thigh on our other side. Now we're going to cut the wings off. Wings are my favorite part. That's what I always eat when I have a cut up chicken. So I've just made a cut on, you can see the top of the chicken's back. I've made a cut. There's going to again be another joint bone there that has split open easily. You can see that. And so we're just going to take and cut through that joint bone, and then I'm going to flip it over. I like to leave a little bit more of the breast meat on the wing, but other people want to leave the breast meat more whole, so you can decide how you want to cut that. So now we have that wing taken off, and we'll do the other wing. So again, I've got the top of the bird here. I'm going to make this cut at the top, exposing the joint so you can see where you're going to cut through, and we're just going to cut through here and bring that through. So we've got the wing here, okay? All right, now there's some other ways you can do the rest of this meat. You can cut the breast meat off the bone. For this video, I'm going to leave the breast meat on the bone. I typically do the back in 2 pieces here, and break this back in half. Right there, it will make a nice break, and you can just cut through the skin. There you've got a back piece, which you can either roast. You can roast and then put in for broth later. I really like the back pieces. Just depends on what you want to do with it. Okay. All right. So then now we're going to be looking at we've got the the breast and the back and the rib. So you've got the rib cage in here. We're gonna cut through this rib cage part here. This is the more difficult part of piecing apart a chicken because you're gonna be cutting through some bone. I typically will pull that apart, makes it easier and kind of cutting around. So you've got some bone left on the breast and then some not bone on the breast here. Okay. So there we have bone in breast. We've got the wishbone still up here, which we can take apart. And then we're gonna just cut this breast in half. Which again helps if you have a sharp knife. I tend to leave more of the bone on one breast than the other just because it's hard to cut directly through that bone. Okay. And then we're left with the upper back and neck. Again, good for soup. If you do roast it, you can pick at it, put it in soup later. Now that we have a cut up chicken, I'm just gonna take these pieces of chicken and lay them out and put some spices on them and put it into roast. The spices that I like to use are thyme, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, a little white pepper. That's what I have in my mix here that I'm going to sprinkle on it. I tend to cook my chicken, I like to cook it low and slow and turn it up at the end to get the skin crispy. So this is my mixture right here. I'm just gonna nicely coat everything. I like to do parted chicken versus a roasted whole chicken because it cooks faster in the oven and you get to keep all of that nice skin crispy on it. And when you do a whole roasted chicken, the underside isn't crispy and it's harder to cut apart, but all is good. So I covered both sides of my chicken here. I like to make up my own spice mixes and just have them in the cupboard for easy grab and use, and this is one that I use all the time. You can make your own spice combination. You can put in oregano, you can put in some ground mustard, you can do whatever flavors you like. I really like the thyme on the chicken. Sometimes I'll make a lemon chicken with lemon and garlic and pepper, and that's good too. So you'll find throughout these cooking episodes that there are no recipe amounts put out. I really believe in kind of free cooking in the kitchen. I know that's hard for some people, but trial and error, it always works. It doesn't always work, but most of the time it works. So I'm gonna put these in the oven and we'll check them out when they get done this afternoon. All right, here's our roasted chicken, our salad we made, our ranch dressing. Bon appetit. Got some cured egg yolk here. I'm just gonna shred a little bit on top and we've got a JakoPure meal. Have a great evening, guys.